I just wanted to do a quick wrap-up video from our 2 videos from our trip up to the Seattle area. So we were going there for the Northwest Aviation Conference and Trade Show. We just thought we'd pop up there for the day because quite a few of our avionics vendors were there exhibiting, and there was some other few things that we wanted to see, so we thought we'd head up there just for some fun. A quick note, we did go up there before the outbreak of the coronavirus, so thankfully we were perfectly fine being there. It was long before it even got into the US, so thankfully Advanced Aviation Reno, we are still open currently, but by appointment only. We're classed as an essential business because we're the only maintenance outfit on the airfield, and the only people able to do oxygen services and tire repairs, things like that. We also have a contract with the Air Force for the Civil Air Patrol to keep them operational ready. So yeah, we are still going strong. Okay, so quick show summary. The show was very busy. There was quite a lot of people exhibiting there. There was a lot more people there as spectators than I thought there would be. So it was great to see that kind of footfall at the event. As I said, we were just there for the day, so unfortunately we didn't actually get to participate in any of the conference activities or listen to any of the talks, unfortunately. I think there were supposed to be a few good ones there. So we were just basically there just to have a wander around and have a chat with some of the vendors. I'll just go through a few of the vendors that we chatted to, new announcements, some new products, things like that. So one of the first people we went and had a chat with was Avionics. So we are a Avionics dealership here in Nevada. We did quite a few of the tail beacons and the wingtip beacons, things like that. But the main thing I wanted to have a look at was the new AV20 and AV30. So they're small little backup AI devices. So they're able to be installed in your aircraft under the NORSI approval. So that's basically, should the unit fail, it won't hamper any of the operations at all because it is a backup instrument as such. It is not a required instrument. Both the AV20 and AV30, they're very nice little devices. One of the aircraft we have in the hangar for a major avionics upgrade, we're actually putting an AV20 in that. So when that's all done, I'll give you a quick tour of that in a future video. The AV30 was very nice. It had a very slim profile. The screen resolution was very nice. The refresh rate of the screen was very good indeed. Yeah, it was just a very nicely made instrument. So we're waiting on them to to finish the certification. Unfortunately, from talking to the guy at Avionics, they have about 1,000 or so pre-orders. So if you're just putting your order in now, you probably won't get one until mid to late summer. But yeah, if you have a kind of a more vintage aircraft, you don't want to go like full glass or anything, you just want a reliable backup instrument in there. An AV30, we can see that being very popular indeed. The one feature we'll be waiting on though is it currently doesn't have a magnetometer. So you are able to use it and you're able to sync your heading from another device if you have something like an Aspen E5 or something like that that has a magnetic heading sensor. You are able to connect it and push it over to the AV30, but for independent installs, I personally would quite like to see that in the future. Okay, what else did we get hands on with? Their new Tail Beacon X, so that was quite interesting. So the Tail Beacon X was the experimental version we got hands on with. They are going to certify it, which will be good. especially for the Canadian market. I think that will be really pretty big. So what it is a WAS GPS antenna in it. It also has a transponder antenna in it. It is a self-contained remote transponder unit, and it also has a diversity antenna in it. So it's primed and ready for the Canadian market already, and the US, if the US decides in the future it wants to go for diversity. I'm hearing rumors, but let's not stir the kettle too much. So the only thing with it is, because it is a remote unit, you do need a head unit to operate it and input your squawk code. So this can be done through either the AV20 or AV30, but you're also able to use an EFIS display such as the Dynon HDX, or I think some of the Aspens, quite possibly. The integration list is a little bit speckled at the moment, but I'm sure once it gets certified, we'll have a full list of acceptable units to integrate it with. So that'll be pretty exciting when that comes out. That should be rather nice. Quite an interesting one that we saw at the event was the rep from EarthX Batteries. So, you know, we're used to kind of doing Concorde batteries and things like that, which are, well, the Concorde batteries are good batteries, but as any aircraft battery, it is very heavy. And especially in and around Reno, batteries don't tend to last particularly long. So EarthX batteries, they've been very popular with the experimental market for many years. People love them, they last a good long time. But now they're releasing a TSO'd version for certified aircraft. So they don't have any STCs currently, but since it's TSO'd, you're able to take the battery and use a field approval and Form 337 and have that signed off as an install for your certified aircraft. So the battery that they have TSO'd, so it weighs 5.4 pounds. And a similar Concorde battery that I was able to find, which was similar on other specs, weighed 32 pounds. So 32 pounds compared to 5.4 pounds is a great weight saving. And it had about double the cranking amps. What was it? So it had 800 amps peak for cranking, which was great. At the moment, it's only available in 12-volt version. They had introductory pricing at $699, and future pricing they expect to be around $899. So it costs a little bit more than the comparable Concorde battery, but for the weight, the increase in cranking amps, and from what I hear, the longevity of the battery, it definitely could be worthwhile doing. There were also several small airfields exhibiting at the event as well, so that was great to see. So I'd highly encourage everybody to get out there flying and go to a new small airfield that they haven't visited before, because you know that helps keep these places open. And quite a lot of them that we saw, they didn't have any landing fees, or the landing fee was waived if you took like 5 gallons of fuel or something like that, which is great because coming from the UK, the landing fee situation in the UK is a lot worse than people here would tolerate, I think. Even if you flew into a shitty little airfield with pretty much no facilities, maybe a vending machine, you'd still be expected to pay between £15 and £20, which is about $25, as a landing fee. Probably no fuel available, things like that. So the amount of airfields in the US that don't have any landing fees is an absolutely great thing, and we should all get out there and go and fly to them to help keep aviation alive in all our different communities. Okay, and the next people we went and had a chat with were Avidyne. We love Avidyne here. We're very lucky to be an Avidyne dealer. And our customers that we have installed the Avidyne IFD series in, they all love them. In actual fact, quite a few of them refer to IFD as instrument flying for dummies, because these navigators just make it so easy and intuitive to get into quite complex IFR route planning. They're really great devices. So they were telling us about the new software update that's just come out. It is now 10.2.4.1. So that's now available. So if you want, give us a phone up and come in with your plane and we can install that for you. So there's a few bug fixes. So fixed error when inserting an approach prior to an active destination. They're allowing lightning to be displayed with an Aviator LT subscription. They fixed an issue with the same COM port for an input at one baud rate and an output at a different rate. That's pretty good. They fixed an issue caused by rubber banding with different databases. They fixed the COM preset issue on the Bluetooth keyboard. They've inhibited the data link page when no data link sensor is configured. So there are the bugs they've fixed. There are some improvements. They've reduced the nuisance data link alerts. They've added password protection to maintenance mode. A reformatted main system config page in maintenance mode. And they allow configurations with both the AXP340 and the AXP322. They've improved the transponder control from the data block. That'll be quite interesting to see what they've done. And they've added a user option to disable the Wi-Fi ADS-B output. So I presume if you're using a tablet or something with the Avidyne IFD app, you can turn it off where it would output the ADS-B traffic and weather to your tablet. They've improved the fuel range ring depiction, and they've changed the demo mode to always capture capstone configuration. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably have some updates going through pretty soon. This particular update, from what I hear, is quite finicky. So definitely have your Avidyne dealer do that and don't attempt to do it yourself. Know that you'd be able to get a hold of the software anyway. Okay, so our rep who is at the event, we are having a good chat, and from what it sounds like behind closed doors, Avidyne might have one or two new products in the works, which is sounding quite exciting. From the sounds of what they are, it's going to make a lot of people happy. I can't say any more, unfortunately, but for at least one of them, they're hoping for an Oshkosh announcement. So at the moment, Oshkosh has not been cancelled because of the coronavirus, and let's hope it stays that way, and let's just hope it all settles down before then. They also have some new bundle deals available, so if you're been thinking about going for a dual IFD solution, then give us a call and we can get you some great pricing and savings on that, the ADS-B in, ADS-B out if you still require it, etc. Okay, so that was pretty much it from Avidyne. Yeah, so let's keep our ears open at Oshkosh and see what comes out. Okay, and next, Dynon. Dynon had a great booth. There's quite a few people exhibiting Dynon products. So we're a Dynon certified dealership here. And again, there's potential for a new product to be unveiled at maybe Oshkosh this year. They're being very tight-lipped as to what it is. Nobody's seen it, from what I can gather. But from what I hear as to the concept of what it is, it should be a great hit. Both in terms of an independent installation and also in terms of an accompaniment to the HDX EFIS display. So we're quite looking forward to that. Autopilot certifications. We should be hearing about the Seneca sometime soon. According to their website, it's pretty close. It should be done within this first half of the year. I know all autopilot certifications have slowed down quite significantly in the wake of the Boeing fiasco. So I know TrueTrack has been experiencing problems as well, just with the speed of getting things certified through the FAA. So what I understand, also the Cessna 182 line should be pretty close for getting certified for the autopilot. And hopefully we'll have to wait until after the certification is released, but hopefully there should be some additional models piggybacked onto the 182 certification. So hopefully when that's announced, they should be able to announce a range of Cessna 182-esque autopilot certifications, hopefully for things like the 172RG, the 182RG, maybe the 180s and 190s as well. We'll have to see. And with the Seneca certification, I'm quite interested into what they'll do if they're going to go forward with a large AML list like what they did previously when they announced the 600 aircraft on the AML list, or if they're going to do it in smaller batches and just release one aircraft at a time with full autopilot capability. There's advantages to both. If they went for a larger AML list, then more people with twins, like the Beach Barons and Cessna 310s, etc., would be able to take benefit of having a great EFIS display and engine monitoring system. But then the downside with that is that the HDX officially does not integrate with any other autopilots. So you would then be left with a very basic autopilot if you left whatever you had in there, and then wait until Dynon released the autopilot for that particular model. So it may be better. I don't know. What do you think? Anybody that's watching, feel free to leave a comment below and tell us what you would prefer or what you think is best. If they should do a larger AML list for twins for just the HDX EFIS system, or if you think it would be better for them just to release twins, on a one after another basis with full autopilot certification. It should be interesting. And also one more thing about autopilots. All future autopilot certifications, so including the upcoming Cessna 182 line, the Mooney certification that should be coming second half of this year, I'm hoping. So all future autopilots will come out of the box with the approval for a electric trim and auto trim feature. So the experimental Dynon HDX installs, and Skyview Classics, etc. With Dynon's autopilot system, we are able to integrate a auto trim feature by putting it through the AP panel. So that's a great feature, and so all future certified aircraft will be able to take advantage of this as soon as the autopilot is certified for that particular aircraft. So that's going to be great for the likes of the 182s, etc., but also the Bonanzas. I believe from what I hear, it's going to be, hopefully it should be granted to the V-tail Bonanzas that are already certified for the 3-axis, actually, the 2-axis plus the yaw damper. So electric trim is going to be coming to that. And also the A36 line of Bonanzas, that should be certified very soon as well. So there's a lot coming from Dynon in the first and second half of this year. So we're pretty excited to see what they come out with. Okay, so other vendors at the event. I was actually quite looking forward to chatting with the guys from Cub Crafters. But unfortunately they weren't there in the end, so major sad faces for that. Another vendor we managed to have a chat to and get hands on with a couple of their products was Best Hugs. So we've seen them on Facebook, and they look pretty good. I've seen some of their spec sheets. The specs for these electric tugs are pretty good. So we got hands on with a couple of different models. The smaller model for pulling lighter aircraft like Cirruses, etc. But we were quite interested in the larger model, which it was able to pick up the nose wheel of, I can't remember what the weight limit was, but it had a Lazy Susan on the front, and what we also quite liked was that it had options such as the 12 volt and 24 volt GPU outlet, so you could charge up an aircraft or potentially jumpstart an aircraft from that, so that was great. We also like that you could spec them with an air compressor or their bright LED lights, so they were pretty cool. It kind of made us wish that we had a little bit more money in the pocket to take the plunge just there, but we wouldn't really have been able to ship it back with us. So maybe sometime in the future we'll have to wait and see. So that was a kind of oversight of some of the vendors there. Our flight from Reno up to Pierce County Airport, so we were IFR all the way there. It took us a little bit longer to get there. We got routed around Portland a little bit, just to kind of help with the flow around there. The approach into Pierce County was quite interesting. What was it? It was about a 700, 800 foot ceiling, probably more closer to 700 foot cloud base when we were getting there. So there was quite a bit of transition through the cloud and then joining the circuit pattern at Pierce County. So we were lined up for the RNAV approach in there, which is only one runway. And of course, the active runway was the opposite runway. So that was quite interesting getting in there. The wind conditions were very blustery. So that made it pretty interesting. On the way back, we did have an IFR flight plan filed, but we cancelled it as soon as we took off because we were just able to take off, climb above the cloud layer, and we were just straight back to Reno from there. So that shaved about an hour off the flight time coming back. So from the first two videos that we put out about the trip up there, you would have seen from my iPad, and I was showing you I was using a little Dynon DRX portable device. Some of the keen-eyed people may have noticed on my iPad screen the GPS accuracy display. It was showing generally between 30 to 90 meters of accuracy, so it was pretty much always red in that little box if you're familiar with the bottom right of ForeFlight. So I was a little bit confused with this because both that and the ADS-B reception, on the ForeFlight screen was always saying marginal. So this confused me a little bit because I was always getting ADS-B traffic and weather coming in, and when I was using the geo-referenced airport taxiing diagrams, the geo description was the plane was always in exactly the place that it actually was. So I was kind of a little bit confused as to if it was actually an accuracy issue or if it was something else. So I had a chat with the guys at Dynon Technical, and apparently it is a known issue for ForeFlight at the moment. So it's got nothing to do with the actual GPS accuracy of the DRX unit itself. It is a WAS GPS receiver in it. So everything that I've tested it with, the accuracy should be well within 10 meters. So hopefully that should just get fixed in a future update to ForeFlight. So overall, I was pretty happy with the performance of the DRX and with ForeFlight as well. I have still only used it the one time. So I'm quite interested to play around with that a little bit more. Some people, from what I've seen, they think the downside with the DRX is that it lacks AHRS in it, which some other portable ADS-B receiver devices have. For me, it's not a particular issue. I just care about having a backup source of some form of navigation. It is quite handy if you're jumping in and out of different aircraft. One aircraft might have a full EFA system in it. The next might have a smaller Aspen E5, but no traffic and weather display. And then the next might just be all-round gauges, and you just want your iPad there for traffic and weather and a little bit of backup navigation. So the lack of AHRS doesn't particularly bother me, and it saves a few $100 as well if it doesn't have the AHRS in it as well. So the price point of the DRX is around $350. Other ADS-B receivers on the market with AHRS generally around $500 to $700. So personally, I'd rather save the size, have a smaller unit like the DRX, and save the money because I don't particularly care about having an AHRS. If it comes to the fact that you're using your iPad and a little portable AHRS device, then you're having a bad day. So, thanks very much for keeping with us for the quick roundup of the Northwest Aviation Conference and Trade Show. So we're hoping to do some more videos in the future. We'll probably do some tours. We'll do some aircraft info, training videos. Since we're an Aviation dealer, we've got quite a lot of time behind the IFD units. So hopefully we can do like a Q&A session on some of those. So let us know if there's any particular things of the Aviation IFD navigators that you want answered. If there's something you wonder if it does, but you're not sure and you can't find any information, just let us know, and hopefully we should be able to answer that for you. Also, we'll probably be doing quite a few videos in the future with the Dynon HDX setup. So again, if there's any questions about that or the integration between a Dynon HDX and the Aviation Navigator that you want answered, let us know, and hopefully we can answer all these in some future videos. So thanks very much, and we'll see you on in the next one.